1v1 Ashes of Typhon. Blue side is Toilailee as a Lord General, fights in range, defensive and support commander, has a retinue of stormtroopers that he can add to as the game goes on. Number 3 in the head-to-head leaderboard, Mr. Ricco on the red side as a Warboss, big mean melee commander, good at disruption and supporting his boys. Number 11 on the leaderboard, I believe, at the time of casting. 3 VPs as always, contested on this east side, east of this central area. Natural for Mr. Ricco in the northwest and natural for Toilailee in the southwest. Toilailee goes for guardsman to start off, light ranged infantry along with a sentinel tier 1 vehicle. Can decap points but cannot cap them. The soft melee counter for Imperial Guard. A bit overperforming for its price, I think, since you rarely see Katashan Devils, which are the hard melee counter for Imperial Guard. Sentinel Stomp, protecting guardsmen from nasty things such as these sluggers or Hormagaunts or Banshees and the like. Warboss chasing around the Lord General, took out one of his retinue, but he's very low on health here. Forced off after a stomp. We have double shooters for Mr. Ricco, light ranged infantry, the usual opening for Orks. Very solid unit in tier 1, 500 plays 497, very slight lead for Toilailee. Can now decap this VP though. Sluggers are busy capping up this northeast area. Now going for the VP. Guardsmen will be able to shoot them up at range with their las guns a bit. No sign of their sergeant yet, so still at 6 models. Here come the Orks using their War. War is an ability that every Ork unit has. Well, pretty much every Ork unit. Increasing damage and speed. The effect increases the more units that use the ability at once. Since it was just the sluggers there, they didn't speed up very much. Big shooters on both shooter boy squads. Sergeant, guardsmen losing models like crazy, need to retreat and do. Warboss used a cap, armed with his chain axe and custom shooter to start off with. Sluggers forced off by the sentinel. Map control pretty even. Sentinel can go and try and decap some wreck points. This one would be a good one to decap since it's fully matured to plus 30, but instead it's decapping this power. Shooter boys have their big shooter and their knob leader, so they're a pretty fearsome ranged unit in tier 1 now. Other squad does not have their knob leader. He's trying to really take down this sentinel, I think, without getting more squads, so he's instead upgrading the squads he has. It will make them more viable in tier 2 also, should they survive. Sluggers chasing off the Lord General here. Shooters focusing on the guardsman squads, as you should when they start to repair. Sluggers can catch some in the retreat path, can they? Just can't. Getting stomped now. Double shooters really hurting the sentinel. Wonder if we'll see the enhanced custom shooter for the Warboss, giving him some pretty nice range damage. Perhaps a bit early for that. It should have the measure of that sentinel with double shooters, especially when they have when one of them have their knob leader. We have a third guardsman squad for Toilailee. Looks like he's trying to keep tier 1 as power light as possible. Huge map control for Mr. Ricco here. 2-0 cap for him. 459 plays 429. Mr. Ricco goes tier 2 first. Toilailee can go, I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Warboss grabbing a guardsman and tossing him aside after a chain axe to the skull. Sentinel taking out sluggers, but they did manage to cap. Triple cap now. Guardsmen trying to be very cheeky and decap stuff. They'll get very, very hurt by the Warboss if he catches them. Toilailee does go tier 2, slightly behind Mr. Ricco. I imagine a quick Weird Boy or War Truck from Mr. Ricco will be in order. We will see though. Not sure what Toilailee will go with. Guardsman and Sentinel working on this power. They take out the node. Now working on the generator. Here come double shooters though. Sentinel not going in for a stomp. Doesn't want to risk taking all the damage. Lord General has lost both of his retinue members. Now gets one back. Now in melee with the Warboss. Not where he wants to be. There's a special attack from the Warboss knocking back this stuff. Also starts with a stomp ability. There it is. Misses though. Sluggers take back their natural. Guardsmen have taken the east side. 2-1 cap for Toilailee now. 402 plays 391. Map control is evened up, if slightly in Toilailee's favour. Shooters are not engaging, only the knob is shooting. Here is the Weird Boy for Mr. Ricco, sub-commander unit for Orks. Psyker has damaging and disruptive spells. There you see his zap ability, forcing off those guardsmen. You see how it jumps from squad to squad. If they didn't retreat, that would have been very, very painful. We also have a War Truck on the way for Mr. Ricco. Chimera on the way for Toilailee, which will allow him to avoid things such as the nasty artillery attack that the Weird Boy has. He's busy capping though. Shooters forging ahead with their Nog leader, taking out guardsmen, but that's a lot of firepower. Guardsmen now have their plasmas, I think. I can't see since they got in the Chimera. Commissar on this guardsman squad, giving them 12 members and allowing them to reinforce very, very quickly. Shooters leveling up, level 2 for both of them. Sluggers must be in the War Truck. Transport vehicle for Orks, not the toughest thing around, but it's very cheap and cheerful. Chimera transport vehicle for Imperial Guard, sorry. There's the artillery attack from the Weird Boy, killing guardsmen in droves, a very hit. See one explode there. Now taking a lot of las fire though. Ouch. That's a lot of casualties. Guardsmen of course reinforced 3 at a time when they have their commissar, which all 3 squads do. Here comes the Ork equivalent of the Chimera, the War Truck. And here are a bunch of sluggers trying to damage this Chimera with rear armor hits. Avoid the stomp by getting in the War Truck. Fantastic play by Mr. Ricco. We have the missile launcher on the Sentinel here. Cracked missiles would be very bad news for the War Truck. Use your choppers on these sluggers, they are devastating. These guardsmen also have their Nog leader, making them pretty fearsome melee unit, boosting their speed, durability and damage. They are forced off. They also have their burners. Looks like they'll just get away with 12 hit points. Creeping barrage to finish them off, and does. That's a blow to Mr. Ricco. He spent quite a lot of power on those sluggers. Shooters taking tons of damage are forced off. Tank busters on the way for Mr. Ricco to try and deal with this Chimera. There's warp vomit from the Weird Boy, stunning all this stuff. Doing pretty decent damage to the Chimera, as you can see. He's forced off though, down to 325 health, has his bigger brains. Warboss engaging the Lord General. No war gear for him yet. No war gear for Lord General either. Guardsmen here to help out with their las guns. Warboss down to half health, trying to inflict more model losses on this retinue. Can he do it? No, he is forced off in the end. Here come the shooters and tank busters. Tank busters, pretty effective anti-vehicle unit, and have a nasty barrage ability also, almost taking out the sentinel with one volley there. A barrage on these guardsmen would be very painful. They are instead decapping. Here they go, there it is. Ouch. Almost wiping a guardsman squad there. If the Chimera wasn't around, I think they would have wiped from the shooters. There's a creeping barrage, well dodged. Sentinel goes down, not sure what it was doing waiting around there. Here comes the Lord General, has his sniper rifle now, forcing off all of these units. Tier 3 for Mr. Ricco. Guardsman taking his natural 2-0 cap, 387 plays 313, nice game. Pretty nice map control for Toilailee now.
If we don't take that power node, they will. They're closing with us.
All of the Orks back at base healing up. On their way back out, Weird Boy, 2 shooters and tank busters. Where is the Weird Warboss? He is pounding on some guardsmen. Not sure why they are hanging around in melee with him. They're trying to decap this fully matured wreck point. They're going to constantly lose members though. There's a special attack from the Warboss. He's leveling up to 3 thanks to all these model kills. Guardsman forced off here. One Guardsman squad of course wiped. They have weapon squad on the way for Toilailee. Wanting to lock down this group of range units with suppression. Ouch. That artillery attack from the Weird Boy is so devastating. There's a creeping barrage, catches the tank busters and the Weird Boy. Does not take out any models though. It did stop Weird Boy from decapping. 387 plays 191. Decent lead building up here for Toilailee. Ricco rus is in tier 3 though. This Weird Boy is nasty. Barrage misses the Chimera. There's a zap from the Weird Boy on those guardsmen. Only have the Commissar and the Sergeant left for a little bit there. Warp Vomit and he retreats. Have an autocannon on the heavy weapon squad. He's not going for suppression, he's going for a bit more oomph. Warboss capping up these west side, going for Toilailee's natural here I think. 387 plays 166. Guardsman forced off by double shooters. Weird Boy still healing up, as are the tank busters, fully reinforced, back on the field. No sign of Toilailee going to defend his VP. Ouch. Weird Boy's attack has been devastating for Toilailee. I imagine he's wanting to get Ogrins on the field, maybe a Manticore. The autocannon just out of range. They have their Sergeant, which is that shield you can see around them. Ouch, protecting them from knockback. Warp Vomit on these guardsmen. Still dying in droves. Toilailee having to reinforce like crazy. Uh-oh, we have nods on the way from Mr. Ricco. He has a 2-1 cap, 374, plays 154. He lost this natural wreck point. Lord General going to cap it now. He has 2 VPs and has decapped Toilailee's. Here come a full squad of guardsmen with Commissar and Sergeant. along with the Chimera, shooting at the Warboss. He's losing tons of health. Still no war gear for him. He's going to need to retreat here. Two Guardsman squad shooting at him. Even lasguns hurt a Warboss if there's enough of them. Ogrins are on the way for Toilailee, but that might be irrelevant because we have Nobs on the field. Hugely powerful melee unit. Can go toe to toe with anything in the game when fully upgraded. Huge engagement here in the southwest. Tank busters are trying to get shots off the Chimera. They've struggled to get close enough really. Here's a creeping barrage on the tank busters. No, it's on the shooters, and it might wipe this squad. Almost down to one model. The other shooter boy squad down to 8 HP with just the leader remaining. That's a lot of reinforcing for Ricco to do. Here's a rock strike. That's the global nuke of the Orks. Very, very powerful. Guardsmen retreat in time. Nobs on the field have their Nob leader now. They are going to kill anything they get in contact with very, very quickly. Ogrins are on the field though. No slouch in melee themselves. Getting their bonehead leader a lot quicker than they think. Despite their size, they can get around the battlefield pretty well. Autocannon set up covering this eastern VP. Warboss went down on the west side. There he is. Looks like all of the armies coming to bear. No, Nobs are centre. He needs them over here. Here come the Ogrins. They are knocked back by the weird boy and then stunned. He's now focusing fire on them. No suppression from the big shooter I see. Nobs coming to flank. Now in melee with Guardsmen. This is very, very bad news for the Guardsmen. Ogrin still chasing this huge blob of stuff. Weird boy should turn and get off a shot. He's idle. There he goes. Knocks back 3 of them. All this stuff can now turn and engage. Nope. Weird boy's in trouble here. He must be busy. Micro in here. Use your choppers. A global ability on these Nobs. They now have their huge hammers and take out the Chimera in no time at all, as you saw. Weird boy survived. Ogrin's now in base. Not a good idea. Warboss is repurchased. Nobs absolutely tearing through this entire army here. They are eventually forced off with 2 models left. Lost their leader then. Ogrin's forced off with 3 members. 2-to-1 cap for Toilailee. He's floating a lot of power here. Mr. Ricco hurting for resources. Another creeping barrage. Tank busters and Weird Boy caught in it. Shooters dodged it. They should retreat here and do. Not cheap reinforcing Nobs. Warboss again uses a capping unit.
Reporting enemy contact.
I think he could have used the Warboss in combat a lot more. If he was on the east side, he could be running into Guardsmen and disrupting them. Another Chimera on the way for Toilailee. Obviously thinks he can defend it better this time. Maybe keeping Ogrins nearby to engage Nobs. They are back up to 4 members, lacking their Nob leader. Still have those fearsome hammers though. Triple cap for Mr. Ricco. He's down to 90 VPs. Ogrin's in melee with the Warboss here. Not where he wants to be, unupgraded. He now has his claw, which is fearsome.
We are winning this one, sir.
Still needs an armor upgrade, I think, but he should be able to hold his own here. Ogryns should start losing models quickly. They lose one, leveling the Warboss to 4. Ouch, huge engagement on this right side. Here come the knobs, chasing the Chimera, which goes down to a single rear armor hit. Guardsmen in retreat, lose 4 models in no time at all. Toilailee losing his second Chimera. Not sure why he got it. He had no suppression to stop the knobs chasing it again. Warboss forced off those Ogryns then, and also has his cyborg implants now, so he's a bit tougher with 1095 HP. This weird boy has been a bane to Toilailee the whole match. Look at this damage. Knobs now in melee with retreating Guardsmen. Ogryns retreat. Toilailee calls GG and concedes. Fantastic game from both players. The Warboss doing his job and capping the west side the whole match. Toilailee just couldn't deal with the weird boy and made a mistake in getting a second Chimera, I think. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.